Good morning, students. Now we discussed about autotrophic mode of nutrition. As you know that there are two mode of nutrition. One is autotrophic and second is heterotrophic. So first we discussed autotrophic mode of nutrition in detail. Autotrophic means in which organisms make their own food with the help of raw materials available in the environment and does not depend on other are called autotrophic nutritions, as in plants, which is done with the help of photosynthesis process, the process by which autotrophs take in substances from the outside and convert them into stored form of energy. This material is taken in the form of carbon dioxide and water, which is converted into carbohydrates like glucose in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. And carbohydrates are utilized for providing energy to the plants. Carbohydrate is glucose. Carbohydrates which are not used immediately, it can be stored in the form of starch for as a reserve for future use when required by the plants, as it is done in human beings. Sometime when the energy derived from the food we eat is stored in the body in the form of glucogens. So here is a chemical reaction which takes place in photosynthesis process. A carbon dioxide molecule from the atmosphere react with water molecule in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. As chlorophyll absorbs the sunlight, it forms carbohydrate C6H12O6, which is glucose, which provide energy to do several activities, and a molecule of oxygen is released in the atmosphere and water molecule is also released. So now have a look of one by one the steps taking place in the photosynthesis process. First one, absorption of light energy by the chlorophyll is done. Chlorophyll which is present in the leaves absorbs the sunlight first. Secondly, conversion of light energy, the light energy then converted into chemical energy, and water molecule, the formula is H2O, is splitted into hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen and oxygen is separated out. Next is reduction of carbon dioxide to carbohydrates. Here in this equation you see that carbon dioxide is reduced into glucose. As in the last chapter we discussed that reduction is the process of addition of hydrogen. So you see that CO2 molecule is added by hydrogen and it forms glucose. CO2 is converted or reduced in carbohydrate, that is glucose. Now these three steps doesn't take place immediately, means one after one. It can be take after some time. For example, in a desert plants you see that the carbon dioxide is absorbed in the night and absorption of chlorophyll, energy absorbed by the chlorophyll occurs in the daytime. So means these steps can be take place after a gap of time. It doesn't mean it occurs simultaneously one by one. According to their requirement and according to the environment, the plants can accumulate energy or absorb different things as they need. Now, if we see a leaf under a microscope, then it will look like that. Now see the picture. This is the picture of cross section of a leaf under a microscope, which is very important as exam point of view. It is generally asked to draw a picture of cross section of leaf. So prepare it very well, and the parts which are labeled here, that is lower epidermis, guard cells, air spaces between the leaf. The holes which are presenting here is chloroplast, waxy cuticle and upper epidermis. And these are the phylum and xylem which are used to transport food and water materials, midrib and lamina. So prepare the diagram well. Now here is an activity to show that chlorophyll is very essential for the photosynthesis process.
Is selected and is kept in a dark room for 3 days. Let me tell you, a variegated leaf is a leaf in which different patches of colors are present, like you can see it in money plant, geranium plant. So the place where green patches are present in the leaf, that portion contains chlorophyll pigment, the green pigment, while the other color patches contain other pigments but not chlorophyll. So we are keeping our experimental plant in a dark room for destarching. Destarching is a step in which the starch already present in the leaves of the plant will be removed. And this step is done to ensure that previously synthesized starch in the leaves get consumed up when the plant is kept in the dark room, because photosynthesis does not occur at that time. So after that, we will again bring the same plant to the sunlight and will keep it in the sunlight for around 6 hours. And now, after 6 hours, we can pluck a leaf from the plant, and this plucked out experimental leaf is immersed in boiling water in the beaker for a few minutes so that the cells of the leaf will be killed, and at the same time metabolic activities of the leaf cells will be stopped, because the leaf cells are killed, so no more chemical reactions will now take place. Now this boiled leaf is taken out from the beaker with the help of forceps, and it is then placed in another beaker containing ethanol or rectified spirit. Then the leaf in ethanol is boiled over a water bath for about 10 minutes. Let me tell you, we are not keeping this beaker containing ethanol directly on the flame, because we know that alcohol is inflammable, it catches fire very easily. So we boil it indirectly. We boil it in a beaker containing water, or we can put it in a water bath. So this is how we boil the leaf. And the boiling of the leaf is done to dissolve the chlorophyll pigment present in the green portions of this leaf. And after boiling, we'll see that the leaf will be decolorized and then it becomes pale white. Now we have taken this decolorized leaf in a petri dish, and now we will add a few drops of iodine solution over it. It is a starch test where we put an iodine solution to the leaf to test the presence of starch in the different portions of the leaf. Let me tell you that iodine reacts with starch to give a complex dark blue or blue-black colored complex. How it happens? Because iodine solution basically is iodine dissolved in aqueous solution of potassium iodide. And this free iodine combines very easily, very rapidly with these iodide to form a negative ion I3, like this. So free iodine reacts with iodide of potassium iodide solution and it forms I3 ion, and these pink colored balls, a complex of I3 is this. And this I3 complex then reacts with starch to form a bigger dark blue complex, which is appeared here as dark blue color. So whichever portion, green or yellow, will have that starch stored in it, will react with iodine to turn blue black. And we can see here that the green patches have turned to blue black but not the yellow patches. That means the starch was stored in these green patches. That means these green patches were able to do photosynthesis in those 6 hours of sunlight, which proves that chlorophyll is necessary, because the other patches lacked only one factor, and that was chlorophyll, and they were not able to do photosynthesis, and there was no starch, so no turning to any other color, and there was no reaction done even when we put iodine.